Hi students, it's Miss Darcel of Faith Women's Private Tutoring and welcome to SEA Math. So today we're going to tackle section 3 math questions, right? They're the most difficult section. So we're going to go through different tips and tricks on how to tackle those questions, right? So the questions are going to be on the screen. You can pause it, try it on your own, and then press play and see if you get the same answer as me. All right, so let's head to the first question. All right, so let's read the question. From Mr. Bean's salary, monthly salary, he saved 10%, spent 50% in groceries, and paid 10% in bills. The remaining amount of 1,500 is used during the month for other expenses. So the question has two parts. How much money did Mr. Bean save? And part B, how much was spent on groceries and bills? Okay. So the first thing we need to figure out, so you can pause it, try it on your own, and then press play and let's begin. All right. So the first step. So let's call this step 1. All right, I'm going to put it on this side. So step 1, we have to figure out how much did he save. Well, no. We have to figure out what was his total salary. All right, we're going to figure out how much he saves in the second step. So step 1. So let's look at the keyword clues. So we're like an investigator, right? So, okay, this is the information we know. And that's going to help us figure out what we don't know. All right. So let's see. So he saved 10%, spent 50, paid 10. Okay. Percent, that is a clue. Percentage, percent means out of 100. So if we're working with the percent, that's a clue there. So we know that it's out of 100%, right? So his total, this is his budget here, right? He spent 10% here. This is a chunk. He spent 50% here. Let's see, he broke this one down. All right, 10% in bills. So we call this bills. This would be savings. And, oh no. This one, yeah, he saved 10%. Yeah, we're right. 50% is groceries. Oh, he eats a lot. For one person, that's a lot. Groceries. Then we have the remaining amount, which is not in percentage, but in dollars. But that's okay. Don't let that trick you up. All right, we'll figure out how much percent is that. So let's call that remaining. And that is the $1,500. All right, so I like to do a visual representation of what the question is asking. So that helps me to figure out, okay, what I have to work with. All right, so based on the pie chart here, all right, we know we have to split this in. All right, we have a visual representation. So let's go to the question. So we're going to use that percentage to help us. We know percentage out of 100. So the total percentage is 100%, right? So total is definitely out of 100. Now let's add up the parts that we do know. So we know bills, saving, and groceries. That's going to be 10% plus 10% plus 50%, and that will give us 70%. So 70% of his total salary is spent on bills, right? So the remainder, which was the blue part, now we know the percent, we know the amount, but we don't know the percentage, right? So what that means is that this whole section here is 70% of his salary, right? Boom, we know that. All right, so let's find out the remaining in percentage though. All right, we know what it is in dollars, but we don't know what it is in percentage. So if we know the total percent is 100, and we know he spent 70, so therefore the remaining percent is going to be 30%, right? So therefore, $1,500 is the same as 30%. So we can put that in there. We have now solved it. So our pie is complete. Now, what that means is we can use that information. I'm going to put it in a block. This to help us solve for the total. Now, if you know part, it can help you find for the total. And how do we do that? Right? We are simply going to divide 1,500 divided by 30%. Right? So when we are dividing by fractions, we have to do two things. We have to change the sign. So I'm going to put it back. So we have 1,500 will become a fraction. Multiply, so divide turns into multiply. And we flip over the second fraction. So we get 100 over 30. All right, or you could have made 30%, 30 over 100, 3/10, right? It might be easier for some people. Right now, our next step, we simply reduce or simplify. So we cancel a 0 here. There's a pair over here. So there's a pair of zeros. 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 15, 5. 3 into 0, 0. 3 into 0, 0. 500 multiplied by 10 is going to give us $5,000. So his total salary is $5,000. But we're not done. We still have to figure out how much money he saved. And look at this. This green section here, green and red, is where he saved 10%. So let's use that information to solve it. Let's put this in there. So savings, we know is 10%. Or if we were to write this as a fraction, 10 over 100, or simplified, 1/10. Right? We know his total salary is now $5,000. Right? So all we have to do, find 1/10 of $5,000. Cancel one, boom, $500. We just did it. All right, so in terms of dollar amount, he saved $500. All right. So there are two ways you could find for the groceries and bills. You can either add the remaining and the savings and subtract that from the 5,000, or you can use the percentages to your advantage. So how we will do that, I'm going to put that here. So groceries was 50%. So let's put 50% here. Bills was 10%, so plus 10%. All right, and that gives you 60%. Or 6 over 10 if you're, all right, use it as in fraction form. So 6 over 10 multiplied by the total salary, answer, 6 multiplied by 5 is 30, plus 2 zeros, 3,000. All right, so that's one way of doing it. Remember, there are many different ways to do it once you show you're working. So don't be afraid to show you're working once you end up getting the correct answer. All right, so that's the first question. Let's head down to the next question. Did you get the same thing as me? I hope you did. I know it's a lot of working. That is why it's with 4 marks. So we want to make sure we show everything, right? Don't be discouraged if you did not get it. Practice makes perfect, right? All right, let's go to the next one.